Welcome. This is a reading for Taurus for December 2022. Welcome to the table, Taurus. I've pre-shuffled the cards, but I will shuffle them again. I'm an intuitive reader. I read the cards as I see them on the day. I don't always have the same meaning on every card, every time. I use a 10-card spread, 5 along the top row, 5 along the bottom row. I talk about those cards as they come out, and then I do another overlay of cards, 5 along the top and 5 along the bottom, and I talk about those cards as well. And then towards the end of the reading, Taurus, I pull the whole reading together and try and give you a little bit of an overview of what you could expect this month or things to look out for. I hope you're well. I hope you've got some nice things planned for December. The flowers and plants are from my garden. I hope you enjoy them. I have cleared the space with the gong, and the crystals have been in the salt bath. Okay. 7 of Swords in the upright position. 8 of Wands in the reverse. The Sun in the reverse. 6 of Pentacles in reverse. And the 9 of Swords upright. Bottom row, we've got 7 of Wands in the upright position, 6 of Wands in the upright position, the Lovers in reverse, 9 of Cups in reverse, and the 2 of Swords in reverse. On the bottom of the deck, I'll show you first. We have the King of Swords in reverse. Okay, so the 7 of Wands, 7 of Swords, talks about somebody who's being a bit sly, somebody who's treacherous perhaps, somebody who's stolen something, taken something, been a bit dishonest, somebody who's not necessarily looking out for your best interests. We've got the 8 of Wands in reverse, so this is usually about a message coming in very quickly. It's in reverse, so we'll clarify that later. It does look peaceful. I'm not getting any sense of alarm from that card. Got the Sun in reverse. This is a very joyful and happy card. Good times, success, achievements, graduations, victories, birth of a child, all of those things. 6 of Pentacles in reverse. So 6 of Pentacles is having sufficient funds that you can share and distribute some wealth with, perhaps a little bit for your family, pay all your bills, perhaps have a small amount left over for a donation. Not necessarily being wealthy, but being comfortable enough to be able to be a little bit generous. We've got the 9 of Swords at the end. So this is the anxiety card, anxiety, worries, fears, all of those things that happen in the night and in your lonely times. Nightmares. Okay, I'll start on the bottom row. We've got the recent past, the present, and the near future. And the cards in between are sort of the links. Okay, bottom row, we'll start with the 7 of Wands. So establishing some boundaries. Having put down some boundaries, that's what I think this is. Not necessarily about defending yourself, but it could be. You've got 2 sevens, one above the other. So you've got this 7 energy here. A very strong 7 energy there. 7 is about usually quite rapid movement. Okay, and your next card along is the 6 of Wands, which is sort of success and achievements. Again, it could relate to something like having graduated, passed your exams, won a battle. It's quite a successful card, so it's a nice card. You've got quite a lot of energy here of movement and action, so it does look like you've had to perhaps had to work quite hard to get where you're going, It does look like there's been a little bit of treachery or dishonesty somewhere along the line, something that perhaps hasn't been in your favour. Got the Lovers in reverse. Lovers talks about a union of partnerships or a decision to make. It's most often referring to a decision, but if it is about a partnership, those partners are meant to look after one another and not pull each other apart. Okay, so it's under the Sun in reverse. Sun is success. I do think perhaps this is a decision to make, but I'll check that as we go along. We've got the Nine of Cups in reverse. Nine of Cups generally speaks about having a wish, achieving a wish, perhaps having everything you need or everything you want. He does, I'll show you his face, he does look a little bit smug. He's in the reverse position. He could be gloating or smug. Because it's in the reverse position, maybe there's someone around you who's a bit gloating or smug. I'm not sure, but that's sometimes the impression I get. The last card on the bottom row is the Two of Swords. Taking your time to make a careful decision, to be analytical, to think very carefully, not be in a rush, don't be under any illusions. If there's a contract involved or any legal matter, make sure you read the fine print. It's not a worrisome card. It doesn't look like it's blocking you. It does actually look like a decision you need to make. You need to be calm and peaceful and think carefully. Okay? Don't get too alarmed in your head about all these decisions you need to make. If it's an important decision, just sit down quietly, think rationally, make a list if necessary, pros and cons. That does help some people. Itemise things. Your decision can go either way, but usually if you make a decision one way, you often can't have what goes the other way. So do be careful, think carefully. Your King of Swords here at the end, this is an overall energy, so I'm actually thinking very much about a decision. Be clear-minded, clear thinking, analytical. It's a decision perhaps that requires very, very clear thinking rather than emotions. Okay, I will now overlay these cards with another deck. If you want to know which decks I'm using, it'll be in the description box. So far these cards don't look very troublesome. It does look like you've achieved something very nice here, so some sort of success, and as I said, it could be a graduation, could be exams, could be achieving a new job or an offer of a job. It does look quite a happy card. Even the Sun in reverse is never anything to be really concerned about. Perhaps you need to celebrate your success more, or be maybe you're not being grateful enough for your success. You know, you do need to honour the work that you've put in. Sometimes people say, well, okay, that's over, without actually giving themselves credit or reward or congratulations for the things you've achieved. If you've put in hard work, you deserve some little time of recognition. You don't have to gloat, but you do have to celebrate the hard work that you've put in to achieve something. Nothing is achieved without hard work. Things don't just fall in the laps of most people. So do give yourself credit for something. Okay, Seven of Swords, we have strength, gathering strength. So this is you gathering your strength. Perhaps you need to gather your strength after somebody's been, this can be a cheating card as well, somebody who's cheated, taken what doesn't belong to them. They feel quite content with having taken things. Some people have no regrets about taking things that don't belong to them. It can be thoughts, but it's more likely action, because this is quite an active card. You can see he's walking, so it's more likely to be an action rather than a thought. So I do feel that somebody hasn't done the right thing by you, and only you will know what that is. So it looks like you need to regather your strength after this event. Okay, perhaps you've had to put up some boundaries and stand your ground and spoken up. And he looks a little bit cross, as you can see. which you naturally would be if someone's done the wrong thing. So it looks like you've defended yourself, stood your ground, which is great. Gather your strength again. All of these skirmishes tend to weaken you. Oh, there we go. Take that one, the Empress. Okay. So the Empress is leaving you feeling strong. So once you gather your strength, the Empress is fertile and abundant and creative and loving and gentle and kind. Highly fertile. So gather your strength and you'll go back into your beautiful energy. The cards are not gender specific. So when I say she or he or they, you need to decide for yourself. These are the energies the cards are giving off. And they've done that because they need to portray the energies pictorially. So when it's a feminine card, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a feminine person. It's the energy. Oops. Okay. I'll put that back in. I'll clarify the 8 of Wands in reverse. 8 of Wands in reverse. It looks peaceful. As I said, usually messages coming in quickly, but it's in reverse, so there could be some sort of a delay. 6 of Pentacles. 6 of Pentacles, you've got that here too. It's in the upright position. So maybe this is a job offer. It can be having sufficient money. Perhaps somebody has given you, you know, a monetary reward for having completed your studies. That could be the case. A parent perhaps being generous, or an uncle or an aunt or someone like that, even a company giving you a reward for having achieved a next level of education. Let's clarify the 6 of Wands. Okay, the Star. Beautiful card. Very beautiful card. Wow. maybe you did way better than you thought you would do. I mean, this tells me your success is very good. So if you're not happy about that success, I think you're short-selling yourself, because it does look like you've done very well here. So congratulations. That is something that's really quite lovely. You do need to celebrate. You do need to be happy. Okay. Let's clarify the Sun for Taurus. He's got a feather in his cap. Look at that. Look at that. He's got a... Where is he? There. Feather in his cap. You have a feather in your cap. You've got the wreath of victory here, but you've got a feather in your cap. Be proud of yourself. Can we have the Sun, please, for Taurus? 7 of Wands. Again, this is the need to defend yourself. I'm not sure why you've got the need to defend yourself a second time, but it's in reverse. So perhaps you don't need to defend yourself anymore. Hopefully that's finished. But as you can see, if you do need to defend yourself, take the high moral ground. Don't stoop to the level of a thief or somebody with low morals or a low attitude to life. Choose the higher ground. You can see this one too. They're elevated. Put yourself in a higher place. Don't fight at the bottom of the heap. Use your intellect and your wisdom. Rise above. Gather your strength. Rise above. Okay? Don't go down to their level. It's not worth it. You only lower yourself. Okay, let's clarify the Lovers. I do think this is a decision rather than a partnership. But if it is a partnership, make sure you work to pull each other together, to raise each other up. Never pull each other down. If it is about a partnership, it's a divine partnership. You are meant to look after each other, but it can also very much be about a decision, the conscious and the subconscious mind, knowing which way to go. And clarify the Lovers, please. Clarify the Lovers, please. Oh, there we go. I better turn that carefully. Okay, the Fool, the beginning of a new journey. I'll show that card to you. He's in reverse, so there's some sort of a delay here. Maybe it's a decision you need to make after having completed your studies. That could very much be the case. And this could be mental battles as well, having difficulty deciding what it is you really want to do. You've obviously achieved success. So it looks like you probably, if you have achieved success in your studies or something like that, you probably will have lots of choices. That's one thing about success. It doesn't limit you so much. So it does look like you're going to start a new journey once you make a decision here. Let's clarify the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Perhaps you're going to study some more. Perhaps you want to go into the workforce. And perhaps, you're concerned that if you study more, you will start, that it will limit your financial opportunities. That's true, perhaps it will, but in the long term, you'll probably benefit from it. Also, when you start a job, sometimes you are not rewarded as well as you should be. Employers can sometimes take advantage of a new employee, someone who's just finished their studies. But you need to seek balance. You've put in the hard work. Ask for a fair remuneration. Okay. Can we clarify that card? Okay, you got the Wheel of Fortune, the wheel. So it looks like things are going to be changing quickly for you. There may be a slight delay, but I do think perhaps that'll depend on a decision. First thing I noticed was the Sword. So once you make a decision, it's going to change rapidly, or it will change completely. It'll change where you are. It's not, often when I see a tarot card, I focus on the thing I saw first. Now, the thing I saw first here was a Sword. You've got decisions to make. So I think once you've made a decision, your whole way of life will change. Or at least, for the present. It's not necessarily a dramatic change, but it definitely will change. It's not an unpleasant card, it's a happy card. Usually it brings in better times. Can we clarify the Nine of Cups in reverse, please? That one's a little bit of a confounder to me, this one I don't understand. It does look like you've had success here, so I'm not quite sure why this card is here, but we can clarify that later. Clarify the Nine of Cups, please, for Taurus. Okay, Four of Cups. Feeling a bit down in the dumps. Don't feel down in the dumps. You've got good cards on the table. With this card, you're not looking at the opportunity that's coming towards you. Okay. I'm not sure what's gone wrong. Maybe you're reflecting on this energy up here with the Seven of Swords. But you need to think about this success here that you've achieved and the journey you're going to start. So this definitely confirms you're starting a new journey. You're at a new phase of your life. Maybe you're disappointed with your emotions. Maybe you wanted to be further along, but it's interesting. There's a split in that tree. I've never noticed that before. Maybe you have to go somewhere and you feel like you're splitting from your family tree. That could be the case. Splitting from the family, perhaps, to take up an opportunity. Don't feel despondent, look at the opportunity. Okay, let's clarify this Nine of... Ooh. They both want to come out. I'll just put these cards down for just a moment. Turn them over. Okay. Juggling your finances, juggling a decision. It's in reverse. That would make sense here. This, if you're considering an offer going overseas, because you've got this split here in the family. So maybe you're sort of, you'd love to go, but it's giving you anxiety about leaving. But here, a new contract, a new offer, new collaboration with different people. Okay. That can be hard to decide. But you need to look in the long term rather than the short term. The short term disadvantages of leaving your family over your long time career. You do need to stand on your own 2 feet and make your own way in life. This always reminds me that it's on a ship, and it could be on a ship. Negotiate well, negotiate for what you need. Here, this card, this is why the tarot is here. See how this card is talking about perhaps somebody's being miserly with their offer. You know, you can see the scales here. Make sure that if you are receiving an offer, that you are receiving just compensation for the amount of work that you'll be doing, okay? So if you're negotiating a contract, make sure it's balanced. You may not be used to speaking up for yourself, but you need to gather your strength. Okay, we'll keep going. We've got the last card to look at. We've got the 2 of Swords here, under the Knight of the Moon. So no illusions, no wishful thinking. If you're thinking about starting something new, make sure it's in writing. Okay, always make sure it's in writing. People make promises and then they break them. So make sure if you're getting a contract, here, right down to the fine print, okay? Right down to the fine print. Make sure that you've got your best interests covered. Can we clarify the decision card at the end, please? Can we clarify this decision for Taurus? And the reason they've got a blindfold in, it's not because they're stupid. It's asking you to shut your eyes and to go inside your head and to think clearly. Okay? Think really clearly, use your intuition, use your judgment, use your wisdom, use your experience from life. Can we clarify this 2 of Swords for Taurus, please? They're holding the sword firmly. You have command of your faculties, you have command of your intellect and your wisdom. So just close your eyes, take some time, go somewhere still and calm and peaceful, feet on the ground, and think clearly. We clarify the 2 of Swords, please. Okay, 3 of Cups, a celebration. Wonderful, wonderful. Beautiful energy. Something to celebrate once you make a decision. Happy times with your friends. Now I'm going to show you the bottom of the deck, and then I'll have a look at it. Bottom of the deck, 7 of Pentacles. In reverse. So I'll show you it upright. It's taking a little rest. Be sure you actually, I'll put these cards down. Been working hard. Take a little rest. Don't be so ungenerous or unkind to yourself that you don't allow yourself time to have a rest. Okay, you do need to give yourself a little rest. You're entitled to a little rest. You've worked hard. It shows me here that you've worked hard. You're in a beautiful place. You've achieved what you wanted to achieve. Take time to enjoy your achievements. That's what this card is about. This card is asking you to value what you've achieved, to reflect on what you've achieved, to honour it, and to be proud of it. Okay? Don't just dismiss it and walk on. Not everybody achieves success. Not everybody can study and achieve their credentials or their degrees. Okay? It actually looks like a very good spread of cards here. I don't know why you're a little bit despondent here, but it could be that you feel an offer that's come in is too low. Look, you don't have to take the first offer. Perhaps you should wait for a better offer. I might clarify this bit here. So like I said, this is sort of the present energy or mid-December energy, perhaps. You do have this wonderful card here. This is bountiful. This is a really bountiful energy. So if that's you, you have a lot to offer the world. Okay, don't undersell yourself. Whatever you do, don't undersell yourself. I might just clarify here this little bit of despondency. And it could be about an offer that perhaps is asking you to, you could be continuing your studies overseas or a job offer overseas, and perhaps you're a bit sad about leaving your family. That could be the case. I'll just clarify these cards. So clarify the 9 of Cups in reverse, please, and the 4 of Cups. Otherwise, it looks pretty good. I think you've got a lot to be happy about. Making decisions is always a bit difficult. You need to give yourself the time and the headspace. Do some clear thinking. Okay? But that's something not to rush. And don't do it with friends. You go within yourself. You go by yourself. You think clearly about what you want for the future. You can talk about it with your friends, but the best decisions are made when you retreat quietly and think about it. You can even dream about it, but this looks like anxiety and worry. Okay, Queen of Wands. She's in reverse. So this is taking action. Taking action, creative energy. It looks like there's a lot of creative energy there. You just need to take action. Okay? But you can think about it. This is success. Can you see the sunflowers here? So I'll just pass these two cards up so you can have a look. You've got the two cards there. Both speak of success. You've got the sunflowers there. The fact that they're in reverse doesn't really matter. It's more that there's some sort of a delay, and I think you're not celebrating enough. You're not giving yourself enough credit for what you've done, for what you've achieved. Okay? This card is telling me the exact same thing. Focus on what you've achieved. It's beautiful, and you need to reward yourself. You need to be kind to yourself and generous to yourself, and be grateful for the hard work. Grateful for the hard work. You've laboured hard. It shows me here, and it also looks like you've had some difficult times to achieve where you were going. It looks like you've worked hard. You've had to stand your ground, and it doesn't look like that part of it's easy. So any success you've achieved here with the Star card, it's well earned, well deserved. I'm going to leave it there. I think it's a beautiful reading. Take your time to think clearly before you do anything. Okay, read the fine print on a contract and think about your long-term goals, your long-term needs. Okay. You don't always consider everybody else. You need to think for yourself. Eventually everybody walks their own path. Thank you very much for watching, Taurus. Have a lovely December. Bye for now.